Hello, welcome to Clearout. In today's video, we will be taking a quick look at setting up a workflow that would allow you to run real-time verification for contacts which are created on the HubSpot CRM site. Whenever they are created, you'll be able to run the real-time verification. Or in cases where the contact's email field is updated, even in that case, you can go ahead and call Clearout to run the email verification. Now, what would this workflow exactly allow you to achieve is make sure that your lead data in the HubSpot CRM remains clean. Secondly, it removes anything that would be fake, spam, invalid based email addresses so that you could set up a workflow in a way that you could go ahead and delete them as long as Clearout gives you the verdict. Third, this would also help you to have segments, better segmentation in your HubSpot CRM to help you better with your outreach initiatives, right? So without further ado, let's deep dive into the integration part of it and see how to set up the workflow. So the most important part here. So if you're already a HubSpot user who's using a CRM integration, so you would be all set. You wouldn't have to do the step where you just connect your HubSpot CRM account to make sure that we are able to get access to the list and clear out custom fields on the HubSpot contact properties. If you're an existing HubSpot CRM user who has already integrated your account, you do not have to do the step. For the new users, this would be a mandatory step to perform so that once this step is done, you will be able to see new contact properties being added on the HubSpot site. So these are going to be those custom clear out properties that would be added to your HubSpot contact properties. So to help you with better segmentation moving forward, right? Now, once this part is done, let's go ahead and set up the workflow. Getting started with, let's say from the scratch, this would be a contact-based workflow. Now, all I have to do is get started by setting up triggers. So now we know that whenever an event occurs, the criteria for the event would be whenever a new object is created on the CRM, or let's say whenever a property value is changed. And you can select the property value so that you know that whenever a new email is added or when the email field is particularly updated, you will be able to run Clearout's email verification. Okay, that should do it. All right. Is equal to any. Instead of this, I'm just going to change to is known. Right. Once this part is done, you can just save this. And let's get to the part where we will be setting up the code, the custom code that would help you to run the email verification. Now here in this case, you have to select data ops here and select custom code. Now the custom code that you need to add is right here in the stocks. So I'm just going to copy this code. This is the step where Clearout's real-time email verification would be triggered. Now you just need to make sure you check a few parameters before you paste the code. Language is fine. Key is fine. Now here, the key should be email. And you just need to pass the email field so that Clearout's able to pick up the email field, which has been recently either created or updated, so that we could perform the real-time email verification. Right. Now I'm just going to select the existing code and add the Clearout custom code. Now here in this code, the only change you need to do is to make sure you will be updating this with your authorization token. That would be your Clearout's server token, server app token. Now to do this, all I have to do is log into my Clearout account, navigate to app section, create an app, name this, let's say, HubSpot Workflow, and hit create. Once this is done, all I have to do is copy this, copy the API token, and I just need to replace it here, and I'm good to go from here. Right. Now, as part of the next step, you can just select the output fields where you need to see all of this coming out. Right. So let's say I'll just add Okay, circling back. Sorry, I clicked outside. All right. Add output. Select the data type. I'm going to select string because everything that will be coming out of this, let's say we are going to focus on these three fields particularly. This would help you to filter based on the status of your email address, if it's valid, invalid, save to send status, if it is a guaranteed deliverable email or not. And let's say this would help you to filter based on the timestamp. When was the last verification done? So that you could also maybe add it to another workflow, right? Based on this parameter. So these are just the three parameters we are capturing, but you could also customize this to add some other parameters that could be crucial or vital for you to go ahead with the workflow as well, right? So for now, I'm just going to say string and say status, similar in the similar fashion, the way it has been added in the code. Now I'm just going to say save to send status. I need this too. Add another output. Our data type would be string. My bad. And I would also need the timestamp that would be verified on. So I'm just going to copy that as well. Here we go. Once this is done, I'll just save this and I can move ahead to testing the action. This is where I'll just pick up one of the recently added contacts, hit test, and I should be able to see the results coming back with the output fields I've requested. Right? You can see the execution went well. It's a success. Status of the email is valid. Save to send is yes. And you can also see the timestamp. Right? Post this step, you can go ahead and add a few conditions based on which you could filter this better. For instance, I would just say, hey, let's branch this property or an action. Select a property, and I'm just going to select, let me quickly check the workflow here so that I could double check on what is to be done. Yeah, you can select action output, right? Yeah, okay. Circling back. All right, so at this step, all I have to do is make sure that I change it from enroll contact to action outputs, right? I could pick, let's say, save to send status and branch this out and add conditions here as well, right? So I'll just hit next. Now add a branch. Let's say branch one, save to send status is equal to yes. That means that would be a guaranteed deliverable. And if the save to send status is equal to no, that means it's an invalid email. Now, what should be the workflow here? So I'm just going to hit save. And I would say, hey, if save to send status is yes, go ahead and maybe mark this particular contact as a marketing contact, right? Set as marketing contact and hit save. And if the email is invalid, that means the save to send flag is no. That would mean I would maybe like to go ahead and delete the contact. Hit save, right? So this is exactly how this workflow could be set up. It's a simple four-step process where a custom code would be required to make sure we are able to pick up the email address and verify it and get back to you with clear out custom properties, right? So feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions. You can always get back to us at clearout.io, and you can also reach out to our 24/7 support. We'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you so much for joining in. That would be it from my side. Hope you have a wonderful day ahead.